We asked our previous officers what it was like to be student president. Where are they now? What are they doing? How being a president helped them in their career? And why you should consider running for election someday.
My name is Kelly McAlonan, and when I was a student officer, I was the last ever deputy president of the University of Paisley Students Association and the first ever campus president for the new University of the West of Scotland Student Association. And right now, I still work in the University of West of Scotland, and I work in student services as the student funding team leader. Whenever I was a student officer, one of the biggest things that happened was that the University of Paisley merged with Bell College and became the University of the West of Scotland. And that's a massive, massive project of change. So I think that has served me really well for working in higher education, where it's a constantly changing environment. So lots of those skills in terms of planning, preparation, organising, diplomacy, negotiation, those are all skills that I use today in my current role. As a student officer, it gave me a really good opportunity to learn how universities work, so how the governance structure works, as well as all of the support mechanisms that are in place to support students. I think that stood me in really good stead for the job that I do now, working with my colleagues to best support students at the university. So I think being a student officer is a really, really unique experience. So you're not going to get the range of experience and the opportunity to develop the range of skills in many other jobs. It's like an internship, but work. So it's such a good opportunity. The leadership skills, the negotiation skills, the diplomacy, communicating with your peers and communicating with people within the university who are the decision makers is such a good opportunity to give yourself, and it can really lend itself to developing skills for a future career.
Hi, I'm Gavin Lee. I'm currently Interim Vice Principal for Governance and University Secretary here at UWS, but I started my career in higher education with 2 years as a sabbatical at the University of Glasgow. I was first off Vice President for Learning and Development and then President of Glasgow University's Student Representative Council. One of the really essential things that I found when I was a sabbatical officer was the training and support that I had from the members of staff who worked at the Students' Union. They were able to coach me and guide me, and it was my ideas and my thoughts, but they helped frame that into how to present that in a professional context, how to build that confidence, and how effectively to bring people to your perspective and bring them on side. And I've used that every single day for the last 20 years. One of the real privileges that you have as a sabbatical officer is you're working with colleagues at the most senior level across the entire university. So you get to, at an early stage in your career, work with exceptionally senior and capable people. You can learn from them, you can challenge them, and they can challenge you. And being able to ask those difficult questions and get their feedback and get their engagement is absolutely critical to the things I learned at the time and how I've continued to ask questions, challenge myself and challenge others. You should consider running for election, if nothing else because the campaign is great fun. You get out across campuses, you get to meet your fellow students, they ask you questions, they put you on the spot, and you get to hone your skills in that way. But more so, if you're elected, you get to work with some of the fantastic people that we do across this university, all collectively united in that purpose that we're here for our students and that we try to drive reduced inequalities and social inclusion through our 5 campuses across the UK, and you could be a big part of that.
Hello, my name is Susan Docherty and I was a student vice president followed by a year of being student president, and my role at UWS is as an early intervention specialist supporting students to succeed. So I would say that my role as student officer, student president helped me with my approach to student success and EDI. Really supported the career path that I wanted to travel down. So I had one trajectory, I went down another, and that was in the role of EDI and then student success. You advocate for students for a couple of years and you address the barriers that our diverse student body that stop them from succeeding. So you learn to, I would say, negotiate with senior leadership, with colleagues and people with conflicting priorities. And I really enjoyed seeing things come to fruition and seeing how you could see the barriers getting broken down. I wanted to continue that into my career. So for me, advocacy was at the heart of everything that I did. So you learn how to negotiate. You learn how to negotiate at all levels. You work with colleagues within the university that have got conflicting priorities, conflicting objectives, but at the end of the day we all worked in partnership to make sure that barriers were addressed, and that's a skill in itself. I also learned resilience, I think I said before, confidence. There's so many skills within the role that help develop you as a person, but in the career going forward. Okay, so I ran for the student officer role as I returned to university as a mature student, and within this role I could see some barriers for myself, so I then went on to be the mature student officer, and from there I ran in elections to be voted when I realised that actually my voice did count, my voice mattered. So if you're a student and you feel that you could address issues within the university, then you really need to run for student elections. But not only the fact that you make changes happen, it is so much fun. You work with so many inspiring students and staff, and you also get paid. I think that's really, really important. It was a role that I did for 2 years. It was a paid role, and I loved every single minute of it, and I wouldn't change it for anything.